The foundation of American democracy understanding U.S. elections. The United States is built on the principle of democracy. At its heart lies the power of the people to choose their leaders. This power is exercised through elections. Elections are the cornerstone of American governance. They ensure that the government derives its legitimacy from the consent of the governed. This fundamental right to vote is a testament to the enduring belief in a government of the people, by the people, for the people. U.S. elections are complex and multifaceted. They encompass a wide range of contests. These include the presidential race, congressional elections, and state and local races. Understanding the electoral system is crucial. It empowers citizens to participate effectively in their own governance. The U.S. electoral system has evolved over time. It reflects the nation's dynamic history and the ongoing pursuit of a more perfect union. From the Founding Fathers' vision to the Civil Rights Movement's expansion of suffrage, each era has shaped the electoral landscape we see today. Participating in the electoral process is both a right and a responsibility. It is through informed voting that citizens contribute to the shaping of their nation's future. By understanding the intricacies of U.S. elections, individuals can fully exercise their democratic rights and contribute to a more responsive and representative government. The race for the White House. Deciphering the presidential election process. The U.S. presidential election is a spectacle unlike any other, captivating the world every 4 years with its drama and intensity. It's a process shrouded in tradition and intrigue, culminating in the selection of the leader of the free world, a position of immense power and responsibility. At the heart of this process lies the Electoral College, a complex system that often sparks debate and confusion among voters and analysts alike. Unlike many democratic systems where the popular vote directly determines the winner, the U.S. employs this unique Electoral College system which adds layers of strategy to the campaign. Each state is assigned a certain number of electors based on its population, making some states more influential than others. To win the presidency, a candidate needs to secure a majority of these electoral votes, not necessarily the most individual votes nationwide, which can lead to surprising outcomes. The road to the White House is paved with primaries and caucuses, where political parties select their nominees through a series of state-by-state contests. These early contests are fiercely competitive, with candidates crisscrossing the country, vying for delegates who will represent them at the national conventions, a crucial step in the election process. Once the nominees are chosen, the general election kicks off, a whirlwind of debates, rallies, and campaign ads that dominate the media landscape. Candidates present their visions for the future, attempting to sway undecided voters and mobilize their base, all while addressing key issues facing the nation. Understanding the Electoral College is key to grasping the dynamics of the presidential race, as it dictates the strategies candidates use to win. It's a system that highlights the importance of swing states, those where the electorate is closely divided, as they often hold the balance of power in determining the outcome of the election, making them the focal point of campaign efforts. Beyond the presidency, the crucial role of Senate and House elections. While the presidential election garners the lion's share of attention, it is essential to remember that elections for the U.S. Senate and House of Representatives are equally crucial in shaping the nation's political landscape. These elections often determine the direction of key policies and legislative priorities. These congressional elections determine the balance of power in the legislative branch, impacting everything from healthcare to education to national security. The outcomes can influence the legislative agenda for years to come. The Senate, composed of 100 members, 2 from each state, plays a vital role in confirming presidential appointments, ratifying treaties, and conducting impeachment trials. This chamber holds significant sway over the executive branch. With each senator serving a 6-year term, the chamber provides a degree of continuity and stability in the legislative process. This longer term allows senators to work on long-term projects and policies. The House of Representatives, with 435 members representing districts based on population, is often considered the people's chamber. It is the body closest to the electorate. House members serve 2-year terms, making them more directly accountable to the electorate and reflecting the shifting tides of public opinion more quickly. This frequent election cycle ensures that representatives remain attuned to their constituents' needs. Congressional elections, often held concurrently with presidential elections, determine which party controls each chamber of Congress. This control can significantly affect the legislative process and the ability to pass new laws. A divided Congress with different parties controlling the House and Senate can lead to legislative gridlock, making it challenging to pass significant legislation. This division often requires compromise and negotiation. Understanding the roles and functions of the Senate and House is paramount in comprehending the full scope of U.S. elections. This knowledge empowers voters to make informed decisions. These congressional races, though often overshadowed by the presidential contest, have a profound impact on the lives of all Americans. They shape the laws and policies that govern everyday life. Shaping the nation's course, key issues influenced by election outcomes. U.S. elections are not merely about choosing individuals to occupy positions of power. They are about deciding the direction of the nation and grappling with the pressing issues of the day. The choices made at the ballot box have far-reaching consequences that extend well beyond the immediate political landscape. From healthcare and climate change to immigration and the economy, elections provide a platform for debating and ultimately shaping policies that impact every aspect of American life. These issues are interconnected, and the policies enacted can have a ripple effect across various sectors. Healthcare is consistently a top concern for voters, with debates raging over access, affordability, and the role of government. The future of healthcare in America often hinges on the outcomes of these debates. Elections often hinge on candidates' stances on healthcare reform, with voters weighing the pros and cons of different approaches to ensuring quality care for all. The stakes are high, as the decisions made can affect millions of lives. Climate change has emerged as a defining issue of our time, with the urgency of addressing this global crisis increasingly apparent. The impact of climate change is felt worldwide, and the need for action is more pressing than ever. Elections provide an opportunity to assess candidates' commitments to environmental protection, renewable energy, and policies aimed at mitigating the impacts of climate change. The choices made today will shape the environment for future generations. Immigration remains a hotly debated topic, with elections often serving as a referendum on border security, pathways to citizenship, and the overall approach to immigration reform. The policies enacted can have profound effects on communities and the nation's demographic landscape. Voters' views on these complex issues influence the policies enacted, shaping the nation's character and its role on the global stage. The decisions made by elected officials can enhance or diminish the country's standing in the world. The economy is always a central focus during elections, with voters evaluating candidates' plans for job creation, economic growth, and addressing income inequality. Economic policies can determine the prosperity and stability of the nation. From tax policies to trade agreements, the decisions made by elected officials have a direct impact on the financial well-being of individuals, families, and the nation as a whole. The economic direction chosen can influence the quality of life for generations to come. Pause 3S. In this chapter, we will explore the history of U.S. elections and how they have evolved over time. The United States has a rich electoral history that reflects its growth and changes as a nation. From the early days of the Republic, where only a select portion of the population could vote, to the modern era of inclusive and diverse voter representation, the journey of U.S. elections is a testament to the country's commitment to democracy. The first presidential election in 1789 was a far cry from the complex and technologically advanced elections of today. George Washington was elected unopposed, and only white male property owners were allowed to vote. However, as the nation expanded and evolved, so did its electoral processes. The 15th Amendment, ratified in 1870, was a significant milestone, granting African American men the right to vote. This was followed by the 19th Amendment in 1920, which enfranchised women, marking a pivotal moment in the fight for gender equality. The Voting Rights Act of 1965 was another landmark in the evolution of U.S. elections, aimed at eliminating racial discrimination in voting. This legislation was crucial in ensuring that all citizens, regardless of race, had the opportunity to participate in the democratic process. Over the years, various other amendments and laws have been passed to enhance voter access and protect the integrity of elections. The evolution of U.S. elections also includes the incorporation of technology. From the introduction of the secret ballot in the late 19th century to the use of electronic voting machines and online voter registration in the 21st century, technological advancements have played a significant role in making elections more accessible and efficient. As we look back at the history of U.S. elections, it is clear that the journey has been one of progress and adaptation. Each election cycle builds on the lessons of the past, striving to create a more inclusive and representative democracy. Understanding this history is crucial as we continue to navigate the complexities of modern elections and work towards a future where every citizen's voice is heard and valued. Pause 3S. In this chapter, we will discuss the impact of media on election outcomes and voter behavior. The role of media in elections has evolved dramatically over the years, influencing how candidates campaign and how voters make their decisions. From the early days of print newspapers to the rise of radio and television, each new medium has brought significant changes to the electoral landscape. The televised debates of the 1960s, for instance, were a turning point, providing voters with unprecedented access to the candidates' personalities and policies. The famous 1960 debate between John F. Kennedy and Richard Nixon showcased the power of television, with Kennedy's poised appearance and articulate responses giving him an edge over Nixon, who appeared less polished. The advent of the internet and social media has further transformed the electoral process. Platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube have become essential tools for candidates to reach voters directly, bypassing traditional media gatekeepers. This direct line of communication allows for rapid dissemination of information, but it also presents challenges such as the spread of misinformation and the creation of echo chambers. Social media algorithms often prioritize content that generates strong reactions, which can polarize public opinion and deepen political divides. Additionally, the rise of targeted advertising has enabled campaigns to micro-target specific demographics with tailored messages, raising questions about privacy and data usage. Media coverage also plays a crucial role in shaping public perception of candidates and issues. The amount of coverage a candidate receives, the tone of that coverage, and the framing of key issues can all influence voter opinions and ultimately, election outcomes. In recent years, the role of media fact-checking has become increasingly important in combating misinformation and ensuring that voters have accurate information. As we continue to navigate the complexities of modern media, it is essential to recognize its profound impact on democracy. Understanding how media influences elections can help us become more informed and critical consumers of information, empowering us to make more thoughtful decisions at the ballot box. In conclusion, the interplay between media and elections is a dynamic and evolving relationship. By staying informed and engaged, we can help ensure that the media serves as a force for transparency and accountability in the democratic process. As we move forward into an era of rapid technological advancements and shifting political landscapes, the future of U.S. elections stands at a critical juncture. In this final chapter, we will explore potential reforms to the electoral process aimed at enhancing fairness, transparency, and inclusivity. One of the most discussed reforms is the adoption of ranked choice voting. This system allows voters to rank candidates in order of preference, potentially reducing the impact of vote splitting and ensuring that elected officials have broader support. Cities like San Francisco and states like Maine have already implemented ranked choice voting, with promising results in terms of voter satisfaction and election outcomes. Another significant area of focus is the modernization of voting infrastructure. Upgrading outdated voting machines, expanding access to mail-in ballots, and implementing secure online voting options could make the voting process more accessible and efficient, especially for marginalized communities. Ensuring the security of these systems is paramount, with advancements in blockchain technology being explored as a potential solution to bolster election integrity. Campaign finance reform is also a critical issue. Limiting the influence of money in politics through measures such as public funding for campaigns and stricter regulations on political donations could help level the playing field and reduce corruption. Transparency in campaign finance can empower voters to make more informed decisions by understanding who is funding the candidates. Additionally, addressing gerrymandering remains a crucial challenge. Independent redistricting commissions and algorithmic approaches to drawing district boundaries are being considered to create fairer and more representative electoral maps. These efforts aim to ensure that every vote counts equally, regardless of geographic location. Finally, expanding voter education and engagement initiatives is essential for a healthy democracy. Comprehensive civics education, accessible information about candidates and issues, and efforts to combat misinformation can empower citizens to participate more fully in the electoral process. The future of U.S. elections holds the promise of a more equitable and participatory democracy. By embracing innovative reforms and staying vigilant against threats to the electoral process, we can build a system that truly reflects the will of the people. In conclusion, the journey of U.S. elections is one of continuous evolution. As we look to the future, it is our collective responsibility to advocate for reforms that strengthen our democracy and ensure that every voice is heard. Together, we can shape a brighter and more inclusive electoral landscape for generations to come. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights on U.S. elections and other important topics.